Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Today, we're going to be putting together a pot. And for this pot, my pillar plant is going to be false sunflower. You also might hear a pillar plant called or referred to as a thriller. For my filler plant, I'm using Aster Dragon, a great plant that, as long as you deadhead, keeps on flowering. And as a spiller, I'm using the Vinca Vine here. Now, I'm using flowers here, but there's nothing that says you can't use something like vegetables or a combination of the two. Now, I thought about this a little while ago. I might have to try next year. What happens if I used a tomato plant as my pillar plant, chives as my filler, and cucumbers as my spiller? That would be one heck of a vegetable combination there. But today we're using flowers, so let's get started. Now, typically, your pillar plant will go right in the middle, especially if it's getting viewed. But seeing there's a deck here, I'm putting it more towards the back instead of the center. Now, I just want to mention one thing. When you're picking your flowers from a nursery, everyone wants to concentrate on the flower itself, but take the pot off, and if that nursery doesn't let you take that pot off, I wouldn't get your plant from there. So what you should be least concerned about is the flower, and most concerned about is the root. Nice healthy root system here, so it should get well established. I'm actually going to transfer this false sunflower into the ground a little bit later in the year. Let's get started. So I'm going to go ahead, put this one in the back. It's not bad there. Now, when you're planting in pots, I don't know if you can see it so well on that camera, you'll notice that this plant sits below the rim of the pot. You want your plant sitting below the rim of the pot. Don't fill up your pot all the way to the top with dirt, because when you water that plant, it'll just spill off. Where you leave an inch, maybe 2 inches of space between the plant and the rim of the pot, and it'll fill up nicely with water. Your plant will get plenty of water, and you're not wasting it. So, let's see here. Habit of turning plants around until I like them, just like I do in the garden. This is going to have to get trimmed a little bit where I want it. It's not bad right there. Now, all the techniques you use while you're making your pots, like I said, you can transfer right over into the garden without an issue. Now, time to get my fillers here. Again, another good root system. I really love Asters. I really do. So it's hard to see here, but I have anywhere from roughly an inch and a half of space here. I tried this before with the pots. I was able to fit 4 Asters in here. So hopefully that's still the case. Now, I don't know about you, but up here in Connecticut, our winters, because I don't protect my pots, we're in zone 6B here. Whether it be any type of flower, I haven't had the, how do I say this? the luck of having it survive, really, just because I don't have a greenhouse or anything like that. So be aware of that if you're in a colder climate. One more aster plant. So the reason I picked asters as a filler plant is this beautiful yellow right here, and this purple contrasts well. And it's hard to see here, but this Aster Dragon, when it's fully open, has a yellow eye on it. So it goes really well with it. Another thing is this yellow is a little bit darker, and this Aster is a little bit more brighter. So it contrasts really well. You typically don't want two bright colors together. It just doesn't mesh well. So if you have one bright color, try to get a muted color, whether it be the same or a different color. It just makes each color really pop a lot better. And that actually is looking really good. Now, time to get some Vinca Vines up in there. I got these on sale. But Vinca Vines do a really good job here. Now for this, typically, you've always heard me say I use my compost. I'm using Miracle-Gro Nature's Care. It has peat in it. I try to avoid peat as much as possible because it's not readily renewable. But we all need to try doing the best we can. The reason I'm filling this is, excuse me, plants going everywhere. I don't want to leave any gaps on the bottom of the plants, just like you wouldn't want to leave gaps in the ground if you were to plant. Might have to trim up this fall sunflower. Now, if you love Heliopsis, this fall sunflower is actually part of that family. And these Vinca Vines, they really do grow. We've had a few of them, and they really do take off. And these asters will get so much bigger. Now, another thing I like, people like to think about flowers, but flowers don't last forever, especially in the garden. So always take a look at the foliage. Now, even though they're different colors, the foliage between this aster and this fall sunflower are pretty much the same shape. So there's nothing too crazy going on. Now, after I'm done filling this plant with my potting soil, I'm gonna hit it with water. Make sure it has a nice little drink to it. That's one good thing I like about gardening, whether it be pots or if you're just planting in the ground, everything transfers over. Again, I'm not going right to the rim with this potting compost. I'm just filling the holes, the spaces. I'm gonna have to take a look in between all these plants here. Make sure missing anything. Like right there, there's a nice little hole there. Pots are also a good way to, like I said, how everything transfers over. If you're afraid to hit a bigger part of your yard, sorry about the plane overhead, try it out in a pot, plant combinations, just to see how it works for you, if you can. If you're really all that concerned, I wouldn't be. Because guess what? They're plants, you can always dig them up, rip them up, try something new. Feeling my way around in here. I want to make sure everything is taken care of, and it is. I have a trellis I could put back here, but I'll leave it at that. And that is it. I hope you can see it. I hope it works out well for myself. But that is how you do a mixed pot like this. Use 3 plants, a pillar, a filler, and a spiller. And like I said, use your imagination. It really is a limit. There is no limit to your imagination, sorry. And just have fun with it. Well, that's it, everyone. I'm actually going to have to go and let the dogs out here shortly. So until next time, bye-bye.